From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom. And to keep
On this episode of Cigars and Sea Stories, Bennett and Mike sit down to discuss boot camp. I had a laugh when I said it because recruit training just nobody sits around telling boot camp stories except for Boots.
Fucking boot.
Fucking smell like cash sales. See, I stole your line.
Stole my line.
Now-
I smell a whole shit ton of cash sales rolling around in here.
Fucking boot camp. Our McQuist instructors, I remember that was a big thing in the. I was not a McQuist guy, but whatever. The sergeants who ran the pool, they used to call each other boot camp.
Boot camp.
Boot camp.
Boot camp.
What a boot camp. Yep. Now, you went to illustrious Marine Corps Recruit Training Depot. Marine Corps
Parris
Recruit
Island.
Depot? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you were Parris Island. So I was out in San Diego.
One of the original guys. You're a fucking Hollywood guy.
Yo, I'll take that to the bank. Wish we got issued sunglasses. That would have made life better.
Way cooler. Parris Island, man. I just remember so much sand.
And you guys
And
always complain about that.
so much sand.
It's always sand and sand fleas.
Yeah, sand fleas, fire ants. First time I ever came into contact with fire ants,
Oh, yeah.
and they fucking hurt. Those
They
bitches.
fucked me up. Yeah.
I think I ended up doing sit-ups in a pile of fire ants, and yeah,
Fuck that.
that hurts a lot.
See, here's the thing that people don't realize, okay? I'm just going to hit a little pain point here. If you're a West Coast Marine, you understand this. Boot camp is right next to the airport. And they did that because they're assholes. So
yeah, they are.
there's no other reason for it.
Jesus, in airplanes all the time.
Oh, yeah. Constantly. And they're just like, man, I really
like,
wish
where
I
the
was on one of those fucking airplanes.
Where the fuck are those
I
things?
dare you to look at a fucking airplane. Like, I dare you to be the guy who gets caught looking at a fucking airplane.
Yeah.
When
You
you're
ain't
in
going
NCRD, negative. You will be fucked up.
What the fuck you looking at, recruit? You
Oh,
ain't
my
going
God.
nowhere.
Where you going? Fucking nowhere. There was a
All right.
kid, this poor fucking kid, every time, like he just had to stand outside and spot. He kept his finger up. And every time an airplane took off, he had to go, there goes another one. There goes another one. Yeah, that's what he did. There goes another one.
There goes another one.
There goes another one. And it's like, dude. So now you've got the jets taking off, and then you've got this stupid fucking recruit outside pointing up in the sky every single time a jet takes off. It's fantastic.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Good job, DI. I appreciate it. That was comedic. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you want to know something? Fuck you, SeaWorld. Fuck you.
Fuck you and your fucking orcas.
Yeah, fuck you and your goddamn fireworks, okay? Fuck you and your fireworks. Dude, my wife's like, she was my girlfriend or fiance or whatever the fuck at the time. She's like, you want to go to SeaWorld and blah, blah, blah. And it's Saturday and they got the fireworks. Like, fuck firework. No. Fuck no. Fuck that. Fuck SeaWorld. Fuck all of it. Whoa. Okay. Elicited a response I did not expect. What's going on here, Mike? Want to talk about your feelings? No, fuck SeaWorld. God damn it. Fuck it. Want to know why? Because when you're on Firewatch watching all of the fireworks, yep, sitting there, boot camp, literally, you can see the fireworks from where you're at. Sometimes they wake you up. Nope, I didn't want to go see the fireworks. Fuck all that. Dude, a couple of guys right now, they understand exactly where I'm coming from.
So what, how does the West Coast work? How many battalions are there?
Oh, Christ, I couldn't tell you that.
Come on.
I couldn't tell you how many battalions are there. I can tell you how the phases work.
How many recruit battalions are there? How does it work? How is the setup, Mr. West Coast?
Right. So I was in Alpha. What do we have? Alpha Bravo Charlie. See, but then we had golf.
So is it set up differently? Like there's no like first recruit battalion, second recruit battalion, third? It's not set up that way?
No, it's set up the same way. It's just we don't have.
So you've got first through fourth.
Yeah, we just don't have Juliet.
All right. So what battalion were you in? Because that should matter. That should fucking matter. It should fucking matter. It didn't.
I was in two. I was in 1st Battalion with Alpha Company, and then I was in 2nd Battalion with Golf Company. So I was in 2022 is what I graduated with. Golf 2022. Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Favela. And in first phase, I got pneumonia. It was like week 3.5. Right? So first phase, at least when I went to boot camp, first phase was in San Diego. Second phase is in Pendleton. Third phase is back in San Diego. So you had first and third on the depot any given moment in time. So like first always looks at third going like, man, those guys are badass. Fuck. Like, they know so much more than me. They're so much further down the pipeline. Because like 3 minutes down the pipeline matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I had walking pneumonia. And
that sucks.
Oh, dude, it was so bad. I had a fucking crazy temperature, and they were like, no, you're not. No. Which there's an area in there where it's like a guarded area. You can't get in or out kind of a thing. It's kind of like triage, but they won't. Numerous times recruits have said, fuck it, I'm going to go hop in and do my test PFT, and then gotten retreaded. I mean, this happens all the time. Like,
right.
You know? So I guess I had that wily look in my eye, which I definitely was planning on doing that. Just like hopping out, I'm cool, sweating it out. So, but a drill instructor caught me on the way back from the head, middle of the night. I was just like pouring sweat. And he took my name down for BAS the next day. And then when I didn't stand up for BAS, oh man, it was bad. He was like, bull fucking shit. Rah! You know, and so, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I wound up going to MRP. That sucked. And it just sucked. So,
Parris Island. See, I don't know about MCRD, but from the what you're talking about, it doesn't sound like. But maybe it's just because it's you, Michael Penny. But Parris Island, there's like a huge, freaking crazy rivalry between battalions, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd battalion.
Oh yeah, no, that's not. At least when I was in boot camp, that didn't matter.
Oh my god!
Because you only had first phase and third phase,
right?
So the third phase recruits.
Yeah, I understand, but it's nuts. It's crazy at Parris Island. At least it was when I went in. There was a huge rivalry. Like, I mean, huge. And 1st Battalion and 2nd Battalion were over by like the headquarters, right?
Yeah. So
3rd Battalion was set up kind of off on its own.
Right.
And just bad shit happened there.
Yeah.
You know, like
bad shit happened there. No, I know.
Bad shit happened there. Like you literally, because the prying eyes of they're like, oh, the fucking head shed can't see you now, motherfuckers.
Right.
You know, that kind of shit.
We're away from the flagpole now, boys.
Right. The flagpole's fucking way far away. Whereas like 1st and 2nd are like right next to the flagpole.
Right.
So 3rd was off by itself. And man, I got burnt with an iron.
Oh yeah.
I got punched regularly.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that was like
island hopping campaigns all the time.
Oh God.
Nothing like a good island hopping campaign, right?
Yeah, we did
from
that.
From pit to pit. I mean, every Marine's dealt with that shit. Yeah. Every Marine has. No doubt. It doesn't matter where you are, but yeah, man.
You know how typically you move around? So like I went to MRP or whatever, medical recovery platoon.
Mm-hmm.
This kid squatted me in the face with a pillow because I was snoring at night. Keep in mind I had pneumonia, so I mean you really can't do anything about that. right? So he and I got into a little bit more than words. And they kind of had like their little crews in there. Because some of those MRP guys, I mean, Jesus, they're in there for a long ass time. It's like, oh yeah, I broke my femur and now I'm here for 9 months.
Yeah. And they're just fucking bitter.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, and you're going to be out of here in a couple of weeks. You just got pneumonia. All you got to do is lay around and recover. But of course, that's not the case. And so I did whatever the fuck I could to get all of that shit out of my lungs so that I could get out of there, only to get dropped into golf. Which it was like, oh, gruesome golf and all of this shit and whatever. And so my first night there, I got 50-50 fire watch. The first week of being in that platoon, I was studying my knowledge. You know how you stack up 3 foot lockers and that's your rear podium for like the back catch or whatever?
Right.
So I was back there studying knowledge and a drill instructor walks on deck. You fucking sleeping? No. You know, no what? No, sir. You know, kind of deal. Like, no, this recruit was not sleeping. Right, so what do? Are you arguing with a drill instructor? Are you calling me a liar? You know, and it's like, what do you say to that?
Did any of the battalions call themselves privates instead of recruit?
No.
Yeah, and when I was in either 1st or 2nd battalion, they said this private.
What?
It wasn't. Yeah.
That's weird.
Oh yeah, it was. It wasn't recruit. It was private.
Yeah. Yeah. See, but oh yeah. So this guy's like bullshit. So he walks down the squad bay, basically waking everybody up. Right? It's way after lights out. It's middle of fucking night, but he doesn't give a shit. It's somebody else's recruit. So it's like this motherfucker sleeping out of back hatch, like walking all the way down. You know what I mean? So he gets into the duty hut, and my drill instructor's like, fire watch. And I mean, the motherfucker doesn't even know my name. I haven't even been there like a week. Oh, dude. I went running down there, reported in. Were you sleeping? No, sir. He grabs a hold of me and just throws me into the duty hut. Like, in between the top bunk, bottom bunk, bam, off the wall, a couple of boots in the belly, wham, into the wall locker, a sea bag that's thrown at me at one point, choke slam, throws me back out onto the quarterdeck, you done. And then, like, stop fucking sleeping. You know, they always have such the weirdest voices. It's so that's what I do. I'm like,
they all fucking talk like this.
Right. That's when I rodeo the old lady, you know? You wrap a leg and you're like, yeah, your sister does it better. And then you try to hang on for 8 seconds. You know what I'm talking about.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Fucking Froggy McFroggers.
Oh, God. What if you had a chick like that? Yeah. Oh, get away. Yeah. You go out to Big Hunt. You go out to Big Hunt. You go out to Helen's. Woo! Go out to Capistrano. Yeah. Oh, my God. Just chain smoking barmaid. She'll do it right.
Green tooth bar slut. Come here.
That's come here, always what I thought of. It was always just haggard, disgusting, filthy, 50 miles of bad road women is the way that their voices sounded. Unless they were from the diaphragm. Not all drill instructors sound like that. Don't get me wrong. Just these guys.
Just a lot of them.
Just a lot of them.
We had one drill instructor who had a fucking fucked up voice, but his was his was from the diaphragm though. So it was real. It wasn't like it wasn't just because his throat was fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
see, I think it's
and then we had another guy who his voice, man, that dude could just fucking yell. And his voice never went hoarse, ever.
Yeah.
And then we had another guy who just never yelled. Never.
You had a drill instructor who didn't yell?
He never fucking yelled.
Well, that's weird.
He'd roll up on you, like out of nowhere. Oh, yeah, they just fucking.
Oh, he was the sneaky ninja
he was
type.
That motherfucking ninja, like this dude. Boom, and he was he wasn't real tall, but he was real skinny, black guy, and he would just. Oh God, what was his last name? Shit. Breckenridge.
Okay.
Breckenridge.
Brecken. A
That
skinny
was his
black
name.
guy named Breckenridge who
Yes.
didn't yell as a drill instructor and
Yes.
snuck up on you.
And he would sneak up on you, and in your ear, all of a sudden, you hear, "What the fuck you doing, recruit?"
He's just a world of contradictories.
Right. And he would just fucking roll up and be like, "Fuck you looking at?" Or what? You know what I mean? Just like out of nowhere. And he never yelled. He would just talk.
Right.
He would just talk to you.
It's way creepier.
Every once in a while, yeah, it is. Every once in a while, you'd see him get his, he'd like grimace, but he'd like never yell. But he'd scare the shit out of your ass because it's those quiet guys, man.
Yeah.
Now I did see him raise his voice once or twice, and when that happened, you knew shit was about to go down.
Oh yeah.
Because he just didn't yell. And if he raised his voice, motherfuckers were like hiding. I shit you not, dude.
Oh my god.
Dudes would just fucking hide, like poof. All of a sudden, poof, there'd just be nobody around.
Can I just find
Because
out?
he was a devious motherfucker at that too. So anyway,
The sneaky ninjas always are.
Yeah, he would come up with the most fucked up shit to do on the quarterdeck, and I mean, just fucked up.
See, anybody can be a drill instructor. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Like if your heart's desire is to be a drill instructor, go and be a drill instructor. I totally get it. That's cool. My favorite and funniest kind of drill instructor are the guys with accents. So if you have a really heavy, like especially a Hispanic, like just a really fresh Mexican accent, you should probably be a drill instructor.
Oh my god.
So, and if this offends you a little bit, I really don't give a fuck. But it is so good when they've got the accent and you have no idea what the fuck they're trying to say. Like Claudio gonna follow Abraha. What? Did you just roll an R in there? Because there's no word in the English language that has a rolled R. Like, what is that? What?
You're trying so hard to not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So hard to try to not be like.
Right.
Oh,
You sound like a terrible Desi Arnaz impression off Saturday Night Live, okay? That's what you sound like. It's hilarious. Keep doing it. I don't care. I had a gunner. Dude, I told you about my gunner. I love Lopes. I won't use his actual name on here. He's a fantastic dude, but he still probably has that fucking accent. It's like Spanglish, with just a tinge of MS-13 thrown in there. Just a little bit. You know what I mean? Just enough to get you killed. And he would be like, he's like, oh, fuck, Copain. He couldn't say Corporal Penny, right? This is on the second. Copain. Like, what's up? He's like, I forgot my apple. Like, God damn it. The fuck? I forgot my Copain. Dude, I felt bad one time because we were out in the desert and he was dehydrating bad. We were out by Lavic Lake on the other side of 29 Palms. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck, motherfucker. You're pounding that Camelback and you're getting a canteen in you. This is insane. Like, he stopped sweating. Right? He's like, Copain, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I'm like, dude, shut up and just pound a canteen. You sound weak, so like piss yourself or whatever. Dude, he fucking puked everywhere. I'm like, look, Lopes, here's the deal. Here's the thing, man. I care about you. I want you to hydrate. I want you. I'm not doing it to be an asshole. He's like, Copain, I got a tiny stomach. Yeah. So if you have an accent of Hispanic or I call it fresh Mexican. Like you learned English from watching The Simpsons. You should be a drill instructor because then people won't understand what the fuck you're saying anyhow, and you can just lash out violently and attack them. There are probably former MS-13 who are drill instructors right now. I mean, I'm just going out on a limb. I had a platoon sergeant who was one. He was bipolar. That was terrifying. That was what the fuck? Okay.
So who in your boot camp platoon, if you remember, who is your pile?
Oh God, Claudio. That's why it's so funny because Claudio had a worse accent than Staff Sergeant Favela, and he would be like, Claudio, Claudio, I can't even believe how fucking stupid you are. It's like, he goes,
Holy shit.
he kept saying, this was the funniest thing, dude. He was like, he came back from the chow hall with a red smock and made Claudio wear it. And he's like, there you go. Now you're like one of those fucking retards in the chow hall. I'm like, dude, but he sounded handicapped when he said it. It was quadruple funny. It was hilarious watching these two go at it, man.
Oh,
and Claudio is just, of course, what do? You're in recruit trading. You internalize that shit and then crush your own soul with it is what you do. Dude, Claudio, oh man. Claudio had to go out. He couldn't figure out drill steps. So this same drill instructor had him go just run through flocks of seagulls. Like, come here, Claudio. You're going to go run around the chow hall. So he had to run around the chow hall with his arms up. And he was the kid who wore the cover like Gomer Piles. Like down on top of your ears.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like a fucking baseball cap every day.
We didn't really have, I mean, we did.
Claudio.
We did have a guy, but I can't remember his name. His last name started with a Z. He was a Greek kid.
Poor bastard.
And he just used to get fucked with unmercifully because he was older. So he was like in his 20s, right?
Yeah.
He was in his 20s that decided to join, but his MOS, he was going to be a journalist.
Oh.
So, dude. So the drill instructors were all over his ass. And he was really smart, but because he was that smart kid, he was a smart ass.
Oh, God.
He used to get his obviously got his ass beat all through school.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Right? So he's that kid. So it's like he had something to prove, but yet he didn't go all in and decided he wanted to be a combat journalist or whatever the fuck it was. And the thing is he was older, and I don't think he was married. He wasn't married, but he had a girlfriend that was even older. Like he had like a 40-year-old girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
You know, he's literally like that guy who, and everyone knows
you're
this
gonna
guy.
be my target.
Everybody knows like that 24-year-old guy who was a complete fucking loser in school, right?
Yeah.
And then gets a little bit older, isn't as fucking dorky, but then some cougar fucking like, 38, 39, 40-year-old woman gets her claws into him.
Right.
Because she wants some of that young shit. And then he's like in love because it's the first chick that ever fucking paid any attention to him whatsoever. You know what I'm saying?
That's when
and just treats him like there's like this creepy fucking mommy weird relationship with this fucking guy, right? Like his mom and him didn't get along, and oh my God, that was this guy, dude. No shit. And unmerciful. I mean, and not only did the drill instructors, I'm surprised the kid didn't kill himself. Because not only were the drill instructors all over him, the entire leadership, the recruit leadership portion, we were all over this guy.
Yeah.
Like you are such a fucking idiot. It was, hindsight, you're like, Jesus, dude, that was fucked up. Holy shit. And he was always just doing shit because he would either open his mouth at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And so there was that mass punishment always, and we would get fucked up because of this guy all the time. And I don't really remember anyone else.
Did I ever tell you
being that bad, like being that, like getting us in trouble all the time? Like this guy was just like a plague.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the biggest reason why I remember Claudio is because it was like, I remember at one point in time we had to circle by the drill instructor who was holding our fucking guide on, basically at like port arms, and we all had to spit on our own guide on because this kid fucked up so bad. Okay? Like, holy shit, dude. Like, you are a fuck up among men. What the hell is wrong with you? And of course, we didn't blanket party him or anything like that.
No,
it was just stupid.
we never did anything. Yeah, we
it's
never
not
did
like
anything.
he was malicious. He was just dumb. You know? I mean, that's the thing with Gomer Piles, too. It's like, is he trainable? That's the whole thing. You know, I don't... I wouldn't trust that guy with some confidential shit, I'll tell you that much. But, you know, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because you were talking about old boy who's, you know, knocking cougar boots and shit. And we had this one guy that I served with.
No, the thing is, that's incorrect. Because this chick wasn't even a cougar.
Well, right.
Because oh Lord, yeah, we got to see her at graduation. And we were like, oh, what the... What is wrong with you? Like literally, we're like, oh, God,
that ain't
no.
right.
We're like, no, that really just isn't happening, is it?
Right.
His fiance, and that's all that he would ever call her. There was no my girlfriend. It was always my fiance. That whole experience for that 3 months of boot camp, I never wanted to call a girl my fiance ever again because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of the way that he said it and the way that he used it in every fucking context. I was like, yep, that's my future wife.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't say the word fiance. I was like, you're out of your mind. Like, it really just ruined me.
You deserve the thrashings.
Whew.
Dude, but we had this guy, though, that I served. Well, we were in SOI together. I thought that he actually died when we were in the fleet or in our first enlistment.
Yeah, I remember you telling me.
Right. So he tells me this story. Dude, his whole fucking MO was just like cougar trim wherever he went, right? That was his whole thing. He's like, they're experienced ladies. I'm getting some. This is happening. Like, hey, I noticed that kind of faded tan line on that on your ring finger, you know what I mean? Like that's who he's looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he wakes up he wakes up one day and he's like doing something whatever with this broad, and he comes down and and her fucking kid is down there. He's, you know, the kid's like 17 maybe like 17, 18, whatever, you know, getting ready to graduate high school. Okay?
Yeah, he's like 3 years older than her son.
Right. Okay, maybe I'll give him he's a solid like 6 to 7 years.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. But
So
the funniest part
he's
about
he's like his mid-20s.
Right. But so all he wants to do is just put on his shoes and get the fuck out of there. So he looks down into like the pile of shoes at the front door. He and the kid are wearing the same exact shoes. Like the same skater shoes, color, everything, the whole 9 yards. Like nice shoes, bro.
Get the fuck out.
Run. Oh my God. He's like, yeah, no, but fantastic. It was fantastic. I mean, she earned it. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
The shoe story. God, that was hilarious. There are just some of those stories where you're like,
the problem is, all right, so it's not the boot camp stories. It's the after, you know, the fleet sea stories.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, as much as you guys listen to the show, we all have more stories that we probably can't tell. Is unedited and is unfreaking whatever.
God, yeah.
We have way more stories that we cannot tell on the air. As much as I really fucking want to right now.
Oh, dude.
I've got one that is just off the chain hysterical.
Well,
I just can't do it.
It's
I
that
can't
time
do
frame.
it.
Well, yeah. Oh man. MCRD, like, I don't even give a fuck about boot camp stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, we needed to talk about East Coast, West Coast, a little bit of differences, but frankly, I don't really give a shit, right? Boot camp's over. That was never really my bag. I joined the Marine Corps to be a hunter.
It wasn't like a huge, like a lot of guys, like that's where they like, that's like the defining moment of their life was in boot. And for me, it wasn't. I thought, frankly, I thought, and you know, I just thought it wasn't easy.
No.
It wasn't. But it
was not.
But once you're done, you're like, it wasn't that bad.
Right. I ain't doing it again.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I ain't doing it again.
Dude.
Right. But,
right?
Like, it's okay. God. It's like, it wasn't that bad. I mean, for me, amphibious reconnaissance is way worse than boot camp.
Right.
Rip reconnaissance and doc shit, that was way worse than boot camp. Way fucking worse. I mean, at least twice as bad. Because you literally think you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There were times when I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm drowning right now. I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Because I cannot stay above water. See, because as soon as it's like, yeah, you do McQuist, you do, you know, you get the class 2 swimmers, the class 1 swimmers, all that shit, right?
Yeah. And
you might be a swimming son of a bitch, but that is unequivocally the biggest. You want to separate men from the boys? Put their ass in a pool.
Oh, yeah.
That's where shit changes. That's where shit gets real.
This is happening.
Start putting people in the water and see where things start going. So because that's the big thing with recon. That was the thing, is that as soon as that became at that point, once I was like, yeah, I'm a good swimmer. Hell to the no. No. I was like it was like amateur night at the Apollo compared to these guys. You know what I mean? So I ended up getting there, but it was like, man, that's where shit got real.
Yeah.
And that's where I had my come to Jesus moment. That's where because I freaking drowned.
Yeah.
Shallow water blackout. That's it. After you do that, it's just like,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what you can do with your body until you just basically die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you take yourself over that edge where it's like, yep, this is gonna happen.
Oh hell yeah! No, I know exactly what you mean. I drowned in boot camp. They resuscitated me.
Right. And guys that have been to but see, that's guys that have been to war.
No, yeah.
That's the truth too. Because you get to a point where it's like, yep, yeah, this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Probably gonna die today.
We'll see what happens.
Right? You know what I mean, though? You know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
So you just have this reckoning where you're like, okay, yeah, all right.
What I think,
and see, I never had that in boot camp. So it's like I look back at boot camp and go, yeah, all right, whatever. Because it was just a stepping stone to get to the really hard shit.
Right.
And you know what I mean. So.
Oh, I know. Well, it's funny the way that it works out. It's similar yet opposite, because you were on the East Coast, you did that, and then you went amphibious. So I did boot camp and then went out to 29 Palms. Dude, a kid growing up, you know what it's
stuck
like.
In the fucking desert.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I thought that I could hump. Like, I'm telling you right now, the mountains and Bridgeport and all of that other stuff, it doesn't matter. It's your climbing elevation and stuff, and you just need to do it smart, frankly. The hard stuff, the really, really hard stuff, is hiking in 29 Palms through the tank trail. And it's ground up soft beach sand. And that's it.
Right.
There's no hard pack anywhere that you go. It's all soft sand for 20 miles.
Well, it's the same type of thing. And because that was the other thing. I don't know about your PT scores and stuff. But like everybody out at the beach basically had, because this is when recon was out at the beach. Everybody had a 300 PTA score,
Right.
period. And a lot of that was because we did the majority of our running. I mean, I was a big guy even at that time. You know what I mean? I was 190, 200 pounds even at that time. So I wasn't a runner, but I was still running 17-minute and change 3-milers because every time we ran on the beach.
Yeah.
So as soon as you go from the beach to the pavement, you're flying.
Yeah.
You're flying. So it was the same kind of thing.
Well, that was like, dude, you just said it right there. So boot camp broke me down physically a lot, like malnourished and a lot of those other things just at that stage in my life, right? I was 18 years old. And then SOI was, that whatever. 29 Palms, though, was completely different and unique for me because it physically, I thought, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in pretty decent shape or whatever, but came out of the sand in the desert and then started trucking around Ramadi. And I mean, I didn't feel invincible by any means, but now we're running around through a city, hauling ass and jumping over walls and all of this other shit. Dude, if I tried doing that shit right now, are you fucking serious? I'd puke after the third wall easily.
Yeah, what's that called? That shit, that like parkour?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, you're like parkour with like battle rattle.
Yeah. Well, because when you're done jumping around in the desert and shit, and then you get into Ramadi where everything's hardball, you're like, oh yeah. And I was rocking those Converse boots.
Life is easy.
Right. Well, and you go, dude, we're out running the rails, and I somehow, usually I was a driver, like 85% of the time, but I was out as a dismount this one time, and slick flack set for a K-bar. I had my magazines in a leg rig, right? And of course, condition 1, whatever, but that was it. So I was relatively slick. Oh my God, dude. It was like, I remember it being actually like fun. You know what I mean? Like when you jump up and you put one foot against the wall and your hands over top of the wall, and you can just kind of like chicken wing your rifle, flip up over to, oh yeah, nothing over here. Dude, if I tried doing that right now, I would break something. I would like break a shin or something. Like, no, dude, I used to be, well, because think about it, right? So you're wearing like 100 pounds worth of shit, but at the time I just had a slick flack and some leg rig. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Walking around Ramadi, parkouring around that motherfucker.
Yeah. And that was, I guess, for me in the cord, my experience was so different. Dude, I'm telling you, after SOI, I wore my flak. I wore like a flak vest or my helmet. Maybe I don't know. I can count them on one hand.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I lived in it.
I know.
I fucking lived in that goddamn thing, man. I'm telling you.
I know.
I can fucking see it in my mind. I can look at it. All of them. All of my.
All we ever wore were boonie covers.
Oh, man.
That was it. Every mission, every time out in the field, California, all of it, man. Everywhere. It was just a boonie.
See, that was the thing. Is like in boot camp, we had those tricolor bullshit like Vietnam flag. No, they were just OD green Vietnam flags. And then,
dude, on some of the deployments that I went on, I mean, and you can call them deployments. You can call them whatever the hell you want.
Sure, yeah.
But some of the drug interdiction stuff, we flew civilian, dude.
Right.
And in civilian clothes, we had our weapons with us and all kinds of shit. Shit was a little different then. I mean, it was before 9/11, but you know what I mean?
Right.
We were like badass. We were badasses. We were like fucking, we felt like,
Rainbow Six.
It was different, man. Different core for sure. Same core, different time. It's just it was different,
Yeah.
really different. No, I mean I didn't even bring my helmet. I mean,
I love that. I didn't even bring my
they
helmet.
didn't even bring it. I don't even remember getting issued one. I don't think I did. I honestly don't think I did.
I'm sorry.
I remember having a flag vest.
I
remember a flag vest, but
Right.
I remember doing it like explosives and stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing, no flak, no helmet, none of that shit. Just going out, stringing daisy chaining like 100 pounds of C4 together, right?
Yeah.
And just laying all types of shit on it, like pallets and washing machines and old refrigerators, and driving cars over and pushing cars on top of it, and then running back to the bunker and just blowing that shit up. No flak, no freaking helmet, none of it.
Hell yeah.
That shit would never happen now. Never. I don't care what unit. I don't care what unit you're in. I doubt it happens. It might, but I doubt it. They're just.
Meanwhile, you got Claudio over there. Can't even figure out how to get the clacker right. Good job, Claudio.
Yeah, Claudio.
It was like Chewbacca's weak sauce little cousin. Claudio.
Claudio.
My God.
Holy shit.
I wonder what the fuck happened to that kid after boot camp. I think it was admin too. He fucked up my pay. I know he did. I know he fucked up my pay. Son of a bitch.
I just remember. This is another core. There you go. Another old core type thing, or small unit shit. I had a fake ID that was my military ID. It was my actual legitimate military ID, but it was fake. It had a different birth date on it. Because my buddy was the S1 guy.
Nice.
Pretty amazing what $40 and a 6-pack will do. Because that was
Was that a friendship you made in boot camp?
No, that was at the unit, I think. But oh no, you know what? No, it wasn't at boot camp, but it was in it was SOI or MCT. Oh, MCT.
Yeah,
that's where it was. He was an admin guy, and I had met him at MCT. He was just cool, and hated the fact that he was admin. So he always hung out.
Yeah.
With he went to boot camp with another guy that I knew that I went to SOI with.
Yeah.
So it's like that buddy of a buddy. You know what I mean?
See,
who ended up going to 2-2. That buddy of mine ended up in 2-2, and we've lost track of each other now, but we were friends for the whole time I was in the Corps.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the hell he is now, and he's not on Facebook, so I can't find him. But last thing I knew, he was like a gunny at somewhere out on the West Coast.
Yeah.
But anyway,
see, there were like 4 kids that I graduated boot camp with who I wound up going to SOI, and then each one of us went to different units. So none of the people that I went to boot camp with were, at least that I remember, were at 3-7 when I went in.
Wow. Yeah, man.
Which was kind of weird, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wasn't
sure.
that? I don't know.
And I was with absolutely no one. I never saw, other than him. I'm trying to think. I never hung out with anyone else I ever went to boot camp with. Never. I don't think I've seen anyone else ever again, except for that Sanford was his name. Other than that guy, I don't think. I don't remember ever seeing anyone I went to boot camp with in the fleet.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's just because it was different. I was just in such a different world.
Yeah.
Because like I had said, I didn't even know what the hell recon was when I volunteered. It was like,
fuck it.
I look at my buddy, the guy that I went to SOI with, another buddy. I'm like, what's the guy that actually tried out with me, who ended up quitting? But I looked at him. I go, what the fuck is recon? He goes, yeah, man, those are like the scout sniper dudes. They like jump out of airplanes. And I was like, okay, I'm in.
All right.
That was it.
I'll go slay.
But yeah, so I haven't seen or talked to anybody. Yeah, man. Other than one guy who I went to SOI with.
Damn.
MCT and SOI with. That's it. That is it.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of weird because at least a lot of guys, not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you usually come across 2 or 3.
If you went to boot camp with us, tell us in the comments section. And if you got some badass MCRD stories or anything else like that, I don't know if you can have badass boot camp stories. Maybe. I mean, I don't think that we've had a drill instructor on here. I've got a couple of buddies who went to the drill field. Maybe I'll give them a couple of years to like tone it down a bit before we pull them on the show. We'll see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting on here. Yeah. Anyway. But if you guys who are listening right now want to share your sea stories, your boot camp sea stories, by all means. We all had to go through it.
Fucking boot camp sea stories.
So
I just remember dudes. That's it, man. You just remember guys getting their shit pushed in.
Yeah.
That's all you remember is just getting yelled at for dumb shit. Like you're like, God, that was so stupid.
Yep.
But it made sense then, I guess.
But
now you look back and you're like, that was so stupid. But hey, it's part of the journey, right?
I'll have to go through it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Guess.
There you go. Well, thanks for listening to another episode of Cigars and Sea Stories. Thank you so much to our network, Heroes Media Group. Thank you to Veterans List and Spartan Media and Veridesk. I forget to mention Veridesk occasionally, even though I do use a Veridesk. They're not an official sponsor. They gave me a free one to try out not too long ago, and I really enjoy it. So if you get a chance, check out Veridesk. They're not paying us to say that. Yeah. We're looking to have on a few other folks. We've got a lot of different business that's working behind the scenes. If you'd like to come on the show and be a part of Cigars and Sea Stories, get in touch with us. It's contact@cigarsandseastories.com or Mike at cigarsandseastories.com, Bennett at cigarsandseastories.com. You get it. Drop us a line. And we'll
should be getting Tim on here soon, too, back a little bit more often.
Yeah, he took a job down in Texas.
Speaking of
drill
instructor, speaking of drill instructor, it's kind of drill instructor-esque, but yeah, we'll let him talk about that.
There you go. Tune in next time for another episode of Cigars and Sea Stories. You like what I did with that? I'm really just flexing. And on that note, we cue the music.